Life is all about preparation. Every day we gotta set ourselves up to be in the best position, no matter what it is. And it took me a while to kind of learn that. I didn't really learn how to be an actual adult and deal with life probably until I was around like 22 years old, and that's when my son came into the world. I had to realize that everything had to change, and those changes had to be beneficial to not myself, but to my family, to my son. And it takes a lot of maturity to understand it about yourself. And I would say one of the best tools to finding that out is space. A lot of people talk about how space gives people the opportunity to actually see their true potential. And when I say that, like I said, I went and I pretty much, my son came when I was 22 years old. I was still in college. I was a senior in college, and just trying to figure out everything, in the world, like what's going on. Trying to figure out how do, I manage my time. How do I still do the things that I want to do, although, I have a child. So just trying to find that balance. It wasn't until I moved to California and I kind of separated from, some things. And that's when I started to see on, how I really grown. I've really grown into a person that, is disciplined. I'm a respectful person. I care about people. And, it took me a while to figure that out about myself. And, being prepared was throughout my life. I went through a bunch of trials and tribulations, no matter if that was relationships, friendships, situations with school, situations with jobs. I prepared to be able to handle these types of blocks in the road. And we're always gonna have blocks in the road. It's no way how you can escape that shit. You always gonna have blocks in the road. You just have to know that you came prepared. It's like getting a study guide that literally has every single question on the test on it and studying the answers. You put yourself in the right position to, you know, um, get away from either failure or, maybe looking bad or anything. But you have to set yourself up. And that can be in all levels. Going to the gym, reading books, taking that run, starting to go out and, maybe join a book club. These certain things set you up into a better person that prepares you for life. And when you take that space for yourself, that's when no one's there to help you. No one's there to remind you of the things that you need to do. And, that's when you actually see the type of person you are. Are you a self-efficient person? Everybody wants to be self-efficient. You never want to be, codependent for on anybody. You shouldn't, want a certain help from every single person. You want to learn how to be self-efficient, because when you learn how to be self-sufficient, you at that point put yourself in a position where you never have to really worry about if something goes wrong over here, because you know that you can make it work yourself. And it took me a while to kind of learn that, because I come from a different way of life. My parents, like I told you guys, my parents, they gave me a great life. I never had to worry about, struggling or anything like that. My parents, they tried to set me up in the best position. And, they try to protect me from failure. But until you start to love failure, bro, you're not going to, step out of that realm, get into those places, get into that mindset of wanting to be a better you. Me, I used to be a person that used to make excuses about everything. Why I didn't do this, why I didn't do that. Until I finally found that, the problem was me. That's when I really started to go hard. Just like now with the gym. Like, I used to go to the gym. I'll go to the gym for maybe like 2-3 weeks and then I'll stop. And then they'll be like, oh man, you still going to the gym? Nah, stop going to the gym because, you know, I come home from work late, or just making these excuses and, you know, and stuff for myself, until I stop giving myself excuses. And now I'm disciplined to now go to the gym, go and, you know, do what I need to do, eat nutritional meals. Right now, meal prepping. You know, right now I got like turkey, and you know, I've been eating broccoli and spinach and eating, you know, bread, trying to take in my macros. You know, all of that stuff. I prepared for this moment, and I did that with baby steps. I did it with baby steps. It wasn't all just, you know, I had everything figured out. I had to take baby steps. I pretty much, like my uncle told me, you're in a crash course right now. You have to figure this stuff out on your own because you didn't figure it out when you was younger. So it may be a little bit tough, but you can still manage it. And you manage it by taking those steps and getting your space and actually seeing how you can work through any type of obstacle that may be in front of you. So, you know, for you guys out there that, you know, want to step out and want to really, you know, excel, and, you know, you have to put yourself in a place and a mindset where you have to understand that whatever you're doing is a purpose. It's a purpose of why I'm doing this. Everything in your life should have a purpose on why you're doing something. You don't want to necessarily do certain things just because. You want to make sure that everything that you do has a fucking purpose with it. Because if you're just doing it, then what are you doing it for? Is it making you better? Is it making you weaker? Are you staying the same? You know, I've talked to, you know, a couple of my friends, and, you know, he's talked to me about working out, things like that. And what he said was, you get to a place where you start to work out so much, everything, your body starts to change, but also it gets to a place where you plateau and you start to, at that point, just be at a standstill moment. Now you have to figure out, where do you go from here? Is that, you know, changing your work environment? Is that changing the people that you're around? Is that, you know, diving into more books, learning, and, you know, getting a bigger and better vocabulary, adding things to your repertoire? Like, you have to find out what changes, but changes in a beneficial way for you. And that's all through trial and error. And that's going to set you up. And that's what I mean by the preparation, to be able to handle any type of obstacle. You'll start to look at situations like, been there, done that, I know exactly what to do. And once when you pretty much get to that place, bro, nobody can really tell you anything. Another thing too is that people are gonna hate, bro. People are gonna hate. Fuck them. People are gonna hate. You're gonna see a bunch of people see, hey man, you changing up. Hey man, you doing this. Hey, you're not like this. And man, bro, it's all about growth. You're not gonna be the same fucking person that you was 3, 4, 5 years ago. You're just not. You're gonna go through more shit. You're gonna have more problems. You're gonna have a different mindset. I think the age of 25 is when, like, your I think is what is your frontal cortex or some shit. Like, you're going to have a whole different perspective on life, and you're going to see, do these things really benefit me or do they not? And that's all that it is. You want to set yourself up to make sure and ensure that you are always in the best spot at all times. It's like a chess game, bro. Life is like a chess game. You have to figure out your next move. Everything has to be calculated. So whatever you got to do to reach that, do what the fuck you got to do, and stop making excuses for yourself. Because the more excuses that you know, make for yourself, the more that you put all this shit behind, bro, the more behind you're gonna be. Like, you're gonna get left. You're gonna get left. Think about those people that you went to school with. And maybe they wasn't on your level at the time. And, you know, over time you started to, you know, see like, oh man, like you don't have the same friends that you had at elementary when you get in middle school. And when you get in middle school, you don't have the same friends that you have in that you had in middle school and high school, because you evolve. You guys' interests, you guys' paths start to change. And that's always been life, bro. And that's okay. It's okay. Never let nobody tell you that that's not okay, because it's okay. You guys got to get the fuck out and see the world, bro. That's what I did. I appreciate my dad because at a very young age, my dad invested in my dreams. I was so big into basketball, and I appreciate my dad. You know, he, you know, paid the money. We took the trips, everything. He let me see the outside. I never just stayed in just one city where I got to see all the same people, you know, all of my same friends, all of my cousins and things like that. And, you know, my perspective on life just changed once when I started to go outside of those areas and I saw a different world. So that's what landed me in California now. You know, I was just talking to my dad last night about how I love California because it challenges me. If I would have stayed back in Gaffney, I don't know what I would be doing right now. Don't know. But I'm glad I got out of there. Now, do I miss it? Hell yeah, I miss my fucking home. I miss my family. I miss my parents. I miss, you know, my sisters and my friends, my cousins, my aunts and uncles. I miss all, and my grandma. I miss everybody, you know? But at the end of the day, you know, I had to set myself, I had to put myself in a position to where, you know, and I had to also thank God for that, because I didn't even know that God was going to put me here as soon as, you know, as I thought. I had a plan to get here, but that plan wasn't on my time. It was on God's time. And so he was like, hey man, you're here now. Let's do it. So guys, always understand that it's a much bigger life out here than just where you're at right now. You know, I even talk to people here and they talk about leaving California, you know? Just because you are where you're at right now doesn't mean that you have to stay there for the rest of your life. It's an entire world to go and seek, bro. Maybe the United States isn't for you. Maybe somewhere other than the United, maybe France, you know? You're somewhere in Europe, Asia. These places could be right for you, but you won't know until you take that step. Until you take that step by yourself, you won't know. Always think and realize that one day you're going to get old and the time is not going to be a lot of time for you. You have to really sit back and think, did I do everything that I wanted? Have no regrets about that shit, bro. Have no regrets. If you guys want to go after basketball, if you guys want to go after that job, if you guys want to go after music, guys, put yourself in a place where you go after it and fight for that shit. Fight for it every fucking day. Never let nobody take that shit out your hands, bro. Never. Because they are not seeing what you're seeing. So some of those people are just gonna go on about their business. But then when you succeed and you get it to that place, you're gonna start to see all those other people come back around. And now they're trying to figure out, oh man, you know, how can I get around this person? How can I get around this guy? Bro, be the it factor. Be him. Be her. Be that person. And it's okay to change. Never let nobody tell you that it's not okay to fucking change. People change every fucking day, every year. You know? The same bullshit that maybe you was going through years ago. Maybe you don't fuck with that shit now. That toxic shit, like relationships. You know, when you young, you really into that toxic shit. You talking to multiple people. You doing this, you doing that. Bro, some people grow out of that shit and it's not cool no more. And that's okay. And you got some people who still like that shit. But let them do what they want to do. You focus on you. You focus on you. So, guys, just keep setting yourself up. I want to hear what you guys right now are trying to do to put yourself in the best position. So I just want to hear you guys. Leave comments. I really thank you guys. Also, I appreciate you guys for getting me at 60 followers, subscribers, I'm sorry. I will continue to keep giving you guys content, just to have these talks. I call it the safe space because I want to hear what you guys go through. I feel like I'm a relatable person, and I try to give you guys relatable topics. So anytime, even if you guys want to reach out to me, let me know. I got an email, I got Instagram, I got all types of social media platforms, and just reach out to me. Let's talk. So peace out, guys. Blessings and happy 2025, man. Let's go.